Thanks very much for joining us, Erica. I wondered, you became an activist after your father's horrible killing by the police. Did you voluntarily join Sanders' campaign, or did he approach you?
What I always say is I injected myself into this campaign. I reached out to his campaign director, Simone Sanders, and we've been talking about how he's going to roll out my endorsement. Besides my protesting, I've been traveling around the country, talking on panels, just giving my story and trying to get justice for my dad. And I reached out to the Bernie Sanders campaign, and I asked them, however I can help, what do I have to do? And we just went from there.
Do you think that the black community generally really have much of a sense of Bernie Sanders? I mean, it has been said that because he comes from a very white state, that he doesn't have much traction in the black community. Are you finding that, or is he turning that round?
A lot of people are saying that he's from Mount Vernon, but he said verbally out his mouth that he's from Brooklyn, and I live in Brooklyn. And he told me, I learned that he's from the same neighborhood that I grew up in Brooklyn, which is made up of a lot of immigrants. He said that his father was a Polish immigrant, and he did grow up in a low-income tenement, and he did grow up in poverty. So I feel grounded to him. I feel connected to him. He protested his whole life, and he was involved in the civil rights movement. A lot of people don't know that. And, you know, he stood with black people when it wasn't popular. He's talking about black issues. He's been talking about not only our tragedies and mentioning the names of Sandra Bland and my dad as a political pawn. He's been actually you know, the Black Lives Matter in Seattle, after they interrupted his event, he went ahead and started a criminal justice platform.
You know, the thing is, though, that there's this fantastic swirl of enthusiasm around him, and I can see and sense that you share that enthusiasm. But if one looks at his Senate record over the last 30 years, it's hard to say that he's kind of moved much for black rights.
I just know that what I like about his history, about marching with Martin Luther King, being arrested for housing inequality in the 1960s when he was 22. So he stood with Martin Luther King when the FBI declared him a national threat. And for him to be a white man, that speaks a lot to me.
And in your community, the people around you, are they beginning to move towards him? I mean, are you finding any resistance, or people are really saying, yeah, you're right, Erica, we'd like to join up?
Yes, once people get to know him and, you know, start to do their research on him, they are, you know, saying, well, I'm going to give him a second look. I'm going to support Bernie. I can feel the burn out here. I've been canvassing, making phone calls and knocking on doors. And once I, you know, start to explain, you know, what Bernie Sanders is about, I see them, you know, gravitating towards him.
Just one last question. There's Hillary, a woman with a good record on black rights. Why Bernie and not Hillary?
I just feel, like I said earlier, like I'm connected with him. He came from poverty. He lived in the same neighborhood that I am, and Martin Luther King is an idol of mine, and I believe that he will continue on with Martin Luther King's dream.
Great stuff. Thank you very much indeed, Eric Garner, for joining us. Thank you.